Ready to go again. Welcome, people from all over the world. How are you doing, everybody? Maybe we start with Hulya.
I'm doing great. I'm fine. This time not in Switzerland, Geneva, but in Turkey, Istanbul, my origin, my hometown, at my mom's, who does not always understand what does it mean to work from home. So she can jump in any time. This is what happens when you're at home.
Yeah,
But overall fine, overall good.
yeah, great. Pauline, how are you?
Could be better, but it's okay. Effectively, all is great, apart from a flu. So excuse my voice today,
Yeah,
and I'm really excited to be here again and grateful.
okay, thank you. Gina,
Hey guys, I'm speaking from Mumbai. Yes, I'm doing great, and it's always so wonderful to see four faces on this coffee break room. It looks so symmetrical. Thinking four people from four parts of the world. Pauline is speaking from Cyprus, right, Pauline? Julia is in Istanbul. I'm in Mumbai. Jim is in Belgium. This is so great. So, Jim, what about you? How is it going in Belgium?
yeah, good. The weather is getting better. So next week we expect to have 20 degrees, 19 degrees, 20 degrees. So that let's wait, but it's hopeful news. So I'm looking forward for the to the sun. So yeah, yeah, and today we kind of will talk about how we are each in our expertise are trying to solve a major problem in the area where we are active. So we will discuss about yeah, the problems we are focusing on. Maybe we start again with Julia. Maybe for the people who are watching, who are you, what are you doing, and what is your main focus the coming weeks, months, years?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I mean, what is my focus? It's interesting. Well, I did the moderation last time, and now I am in the seat of kind of a little bit of a introducing. Pain points for me is really about people feeling, because I'm coming from the professional background, right? And that means I have seen and observed lots of professionals who feel so stuck and not fulfilled and not happy in their workplace, which is actually sad because we spend more time at work than at home. So you've got all the right to actually do something or be to 80% maybe aligned. I mean, perfectionism does not exist, but at least the majority, you should be feeling good at the workplace. So that's why I really created that Drive Thrive career program, the framework, let it accredited by the IAPCM, International Authority for Professional Mentoring and Coaching, and it helps many people to get out of the cycle, to get and break free from the hamster wheel, like my book, Break Free from the Hamster Wheel, as you know. And I'm here because of that in Istanbul, because I got it translated into Turkish. So I was at the publisher, you might have seen. So it was really nice. I was really, wow, lovely. I love it. And here is the book in Turkish. It's like your baby. Oh my God. You feel
Yeah,
so. Anyways, so that's one pain point that I would really love to resolve for the majority of the professionals. Apart from that, I'm also really focusing on the life cycle of an adolescence where they are feeling anxious, have mental, well, anxious, can't cope, can't co-organize, can't, focus on exams, have some difficulties to really go for it, a lot of fears that they need to go, well, actually to maneuver in the minefield of education, but also then afterwards, once higher education is finished, to bridge the gap between academia and the real professional world, because there we've got a gap of human skills. And that's what I would like to provide as well to the students. And I work very much and a lot with the universities as well to give that human skill about networking, CV, elaboration, elevator pitch, the first days in the office, how to find and manage your manager, how to position yourself. And then coming from onwards there, I would say we complete the cycle with becoming in the midlife career crisis. So again, that's what I alluded to already. But then becoming a parent, and becoming a parent is not so easy either. So that's why I created the Parents Academy, to give them clues about how you can be a better parent, because it all starts with us and not with the kids. And this is what I'm trying to solve as pain points overall. And it really aligns very much with you, Jim, because of the workplace. Also, what Pauline is really getting into the brain, for example, this neuroencoding is really great, but she does lots of other stuff there as well. It's not only that. And Gina, of course, specifically me, I'm so enthusiastic and so kind of eager with the music and the aroma. And I love that very much because it works. I tested it. And that's me, what I'm about to. And not to forget, of course, our 3-day event that we are gearing up towards end of April, because that's what we combine all together. And that's actually magnificent. It's a mega event with wonderful, topics that we are trying to convey to the outer world, because everyone has got the right to know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent, and yeah, in fact, we are all for focusing on increasing each potential and bring it to the corporate world to help them grow also. Maybe we move to Pauline and her expertise and focus.
All right. Again, excuse my voice, but I'll do my best to be able to breathe properly and do this. So mainly, I am a neuroencoding specialist. I'm an accredited master coach, master NLP, and a transformational trainer. Effectively, in a nutshell, I show people how to get the best out of them, whether in the corporate or individually. So this is why I call myself a people and business enabler. So what I focus on is really getting the best out of people. We all have fears that stop us. We all know what to do, and we rarely do that, right? I think if somebody has something to do and you ask them, what have you tried so far? I tried, and I know. And what are the results? Then this is the big question mark. And this is where, by working with me, whether at a corporate level or at a personal level, I will show you a way not only to change your bad habits, change your behavior, and go further, faster in your life at all levels. I am the founder of Success Academy. Success Academy is an accredited CPD academy. We provide state-of-the-art program for corporates and individuals, as well as we train people to become coaches, life and executive coaches. Our program is of 210 accredited hours. It's a combination of coaching, NLP, neuroencoding, and business building. So it's not only about learning the coaching skills, also they learn the NLP, they learn neuroencoding. And one of the things that I struggled with years ago when I graduated from my coaching course, was I know all this, what do I do with that? And no one had the answer. They all shook my hands and they said, good luck. And I had to find it. So I made sure in my program, which is accredited, to include the build your business part. This is very important. And I included everything that is related to coaching, because coaching is a personal development field. Neuroencoding is a personal development field. NLP is a personal development field. So by combining these tools, the coaches will be fully equipped with all the tools necessary to be able to help other people. Because coaching is not like, I hear people a lot of times say, I'm a coach, I don't need a certification. It's not about the certification, it's about the knowledge. And it's about what you do with the knowledge and how you learn. It's because coaching has nothing to do with me as a person. As a coach, I'm a facilitator of a process. So if I'm there and basing my coaching on my personal experience, then my clients will go at nowhere. So they will be fully equipped with the tools and strategies to help their clients move further faster as well as providing train the trainers. So I accredit trainers to become officially internationally accredited trainers with a CPD accredited program, and they are internationally recognized. So they learn the new tools of training, they learn whether be it online or offline. So it's a very rich program as well of 100 hours, 120 hours effectively. So what I focused on really in a nutshell is about upskilling to upscale. And this is the purpose of it, is to upscale, because we all need to upscale. We can't stay where we are. We are born to be magnificent and reach highest potentials. And this is where I come in to help. My organization and my team helps in achieving this.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Great. I love the sharing of these two dynamic women. And Jim, before you hop on to my stuff, I want to throw a question to you about what really you think is what separates the happiness at work woo-woo factor from the real practical issues in the business world. How do they correlate? Is there a correlation, or is it really just woo-woo?
No, of course there's a correlation. Now, in fact, the perception for a lot of companies is that when we call it happiness at work, that it's mainly employee focused. And the employers, they are thinking like, again, energy prices went up and now we have again to do something extra for our employees, but what do we get in return? So the perception often is that it's woohoo, but it's also like something like happiness and well-being, and it's often something they don't really understand or they don't really feel, and it feels like kind of uncomfortable to go into that zone. Last week I visited a company in construction, and I met the CEO and the COO, and they told me, by purpose, we put what I call the 4D side, so the well-being side, the balance side, the work-life balance, the purpose side, the sustainability, all these things. We put that aside because we want to avoid that. And then 1 minute later, he told me, but what we see is that we have problems with getting connection with the newer generation. They don't stay when we have a drink. We are not able to engage them fully. So I told him, but for sure, one of the reasons is because you are not adding that segment of well-being into your strategy in the company. When you don't implement that in your company, for sure you will not have the younger generations to come, and for sure not to stay in your organization. So the first perception is like, oh, maybe it's woo, but when you go then to the facts and you know that happy people, engaged people, that they are 45% more productive, then you can translate it in euros that they understand. So, and in our case, what we are always trying to do is find like really a win-win, that the employers are getting at least the same as the employees. Because what we see in America, for example, 39% of the people in America, they are coasting workers. So that means they are quite quitting. So that means they are doing the bare minimum. So it's kind of like a reaction that is even not fair anymore towards the employers. So they are just waiting. The moment that they see an opportunity, they are out, and they do the bare minimum. So we, for sure, try to bring the needle in the middle and to help both parties. But it's for sure, it is one of the biggest problems right now, is that there's a lack of engagement among the employees. Now, that lack of engagement, it's a result of something. And the result is that people are not fully happy at work. Now, what do you need to be happy at work? There's so much going on in the world, and there are so many options online to find that people don't have the overview anymore. And that is something that I want to give people, the awareness, what is needed to be a future-proof organization. And I see like four main dimensions, basics that you need to be future-proof and to attract the right people in the right jobs, and that they stay, and that the company grows, and that everybody is happy. And that is my main focus, to show people how you can measure, because that's also something that people who are thinking that happiness at work is kind of fluffy, they want to see it like visually. So I'm kind of bridging between the balanced driven people and the result driven people. So I'm in the middle of both parties, and I try to translate both worlds to each other. So there's just a remark in the chat box. Hi Jim, agreed. Lack of employees engagement is a serious issue for the business world. So everybody knows that when you know that, for example, Gen Z in average they stay only 2 years in an organization. I'm from Gen X. We stay 10 years in an organization. Now that means if you ask the CEO, what's the budget for hiring new people? There are two things. First, it's now Gen Z compared to Gen X, it times 5. That's nowhere in the budget. So that's already one thing. The second thing is they start then splitting the budgets, and they make it a problem of HR. And in the end of the year, HR made kind of a local loss, and then they have to explain it in the end of the year. Where is that loss coming from? But mainly the root cause is in the top of the organization, because they are not enough supporting how to engage people in their company.
Thank you. And I wanted to ask you to show your awareness model so that people can see the dimensions. But before that, maybe it would be good if I share what I do, because then I want to bring it back to your model and how that impacted our decision of making a whole new line of products that doesn't exist in the world, and how we collaborated on that. So I also want to share to the audience, and I'm sure all four of us will say this. Please, guys, whoever's watching, feel free to write comments and ask your questions, or pitch into the discussion. Share your thoughts about what Hulya said, what Pauline has been saying, what Jim just said, and what I'm about to share. So, So, shall I share a little bit about what I do?
The floor is yours.
So, you know, so those of you who know me or don't know me, I'll just repeat. I've been working with music all my life. However, I shifted into this mode of using music to change your state of mind here and now, and then create a lasting impact on your performance levels in every way, and your well-being. Not like feeling great at this moment because I partied, and then next moment I'm drunk and I come back with the next morning I'm hungover and I don't know what I'm doing anymore, I'm depressed, so that's usually how our mind works, right? We go up and we go down. And I've had my own story of why I chose to do this work with music, and using music as a tool to change this crazy oscillation and create an inner stability, which then allows us to go and, if you want to create something, you need a good state of mind. If you want to decide about something, you need a good state of mind. You want to date somebody, you need a good state of mind. You want to clean your cupboard, you need a correct state of mind. Otherwise, you'll put everything in the wrong place. You need a good state of mind for every damn thing. And if you see all the problems of the world, they are coming because people are not in good states of mind. So I found a unique way to use music originally to change, kind of like hack into your mind and do some quick changes. And you can also do the bigger, deeper changes as you go along, but something that can be integrated into your daily life, even if you're at office and working, even if you're stuck in traffic. There are things you can do with music. You just have to plug in your earphones or put it on your speakers and it works. Now, I met you, Jim, in 2021, and we discussed the Happiness at Work conference, and you wanted something musical. But then we took it to the next level by adding more sensory tools to the whole live experience, and we've made a multi-sensory experience for all these corporate leaders who are usually very straight-faced and very proper, and they started clapping, shouting, almost dancing in a corporate well-being conference. So we saw the power of aromas, music, and visuals. Those are the three sensory tools we used, and we showed people how we could quickly change their state of mind. That was a great moment for me, because I felt like this needed to be done, not because it's my work and it'll make me seem good. It's just something that is so simple and anybody can use and should be used, and can change the workplace, and wherever else you are, it can change your state of mind. And then we went on to create these multi-sensory uh, kits, which include let me open it, which includes scents and for certain states of mind. And then there's a QR code that goes to the Conscious Music Code website, where you get the musical mind hacks. So it's a aromatic musical mind hacking system. So this is for relaxation, this is to beat the burnout, which is a deep level of stress, and then you change that. Productivity, creativity, connection, and happiness. And the beauty of this is you can use this within 5 to 6 minutes. You see the change. That's one thing. And the second thing is, if you use this every day, you end up creating an inner state that doesn't get shaken so easily. And before I move on to how we got to these 6 topics of this, I just want to say one more thing, that people are so defocused. All of us maybe are at some point very we're doing one thing and then we're seeing 50 other things, and this has become our life. And Pauline mentioned it in our last coffee break, right? So much information, and by default, that's our eyeballs are moving like this, and then like this, like this, like this. So for anything, we need a certain state of mind which is centered, and people have probably lost their center, so they don't know which is the right and which is the left. I'm saying it emotionally, I'm saying it from a work kind of a way. You don't know which email to open, you don't know which one to focus on. You end up focusing on things that don't create value. So bringing people to a state of focus is very, very important, and that's what we do with this specific kit. Actually, it's called productivity, but we use the music and the mind hacking and the aroma to immediately, within 30 seconds, you'll suddenly start feeling like, okay, if I'm drinking coffee, then I'm only drinking coffee, and I'm really smelling it, and I'm really feeling it, and I'm not drinking coffee and thinking about who I have to call. I'm only drinking coffee. At this moment, I'm only doing that. So that's the purpose of this kit. And there's a lot we can talk about each of these kits. But I want to now ask Jim to show your awareness model. So how we created these topics and why it helps organizations.
Yeah, I will show that. First of all, I might ask Pauline.
Yeah.
Do you have kind of a neuro explanation for the need of focus?
Effectively, we spoke about it last time, that everybody is trying to get space in our head, from social media to news to friends to companies, everything. And effectively, this is why we are bombarded by information, and we need to have a proper filtering system. And this is what Gina called the proper mind, state of mind, so we can filter what suits us and what does not suit us effectively. And by working really on focusing on what is important for us, and I'll take it to a different dimension today. I wanted to talk about decision making, but it falls perfectly into place, the topic that is related as well to whatever both of you are talking about, which is gratitude. And effectively, by focusing on what we have instead of focusing on what we don't and getting bogged in everything else, this distracts us. And gratitude in neuroencoding is something that is very important because, and it's underrated in the corporate world. Like you said about wellness, about happiness, it's highly underrated. And gratitude is one of the most underrated things for leaders, and for many reasons. And for us to understand that, first, there are no role models that show you how to be a grateful leader. We lack this. It's a new concept. Second, some leaders are not aware and they only associate productivity with the hard skills, and they see the happiness, the gratitude is something which is a soft skill, and they do not see its importance. The third one is the culture. Sometimes the cultural norms prohibit us from being grateful, being happy at work. It's like you need to be like this. And Gina mentioned they are faced like this, and it's not true. We know that successful leaders are not like that. Successful leaders are outgoing, they go, and I'm going to give you an exercise about this. And but gratitude, happiness, joy at work, all of them, there is a lot of skepticism around that because of lack of awareness, lack of role models, lack of the cultural norms that we are faced with. But effectively, and you can comment on that as well, is research has shown that gratitude by itself gives you high emotional intelligence. Happiness gives you high emotional intelligence because you promote, by being emotionally intelligent, it means you are self-aware. And by being self-aware, you can make sound decisions and you can see all the perspective of things. Another thing that is important is when we are in a grateful state of mind, when we are in the right state of mind as leader, we can find solutions. Because where we're focusing on, it's not the problem anymore. We're focusing on something that I call optimism, which is not optimism per se, it's the availability of options. Optimism is nothing but the availability of options. And this is what a grateful leader will be able to have, this perspective of, yes, it is what it is, but now we have to do something about it, and together we're going to do that. And by having an engaged team, this will be supported. This is very important. And the culture, when you have a culture of happiness, positivity, gratitude, then it's a positive organizational culture. And when we have this positive organizational culture, it shapes how people interact with each other. It reduces conflict. Team members feel appreciated and motivated. And I'm going to give you a trick called the gratitude walk. This is something we practice in neuroencoding, and we use our sensory acuity. So leaders in their companies can take a walk, because we rarely see them going and talking to their team members. We see them in their fancy big offices and they're not moving around, and then they complain, people don't come to me. Definitely they will not, because first you need to become approachable, and in order to be approachable, you need to go to them first. So go as a leader, walk around your office and appreciate your team, telling them those little stuff, and look, and effectively by doing this gratitude walk, you as a leader will benefit from seeing and feeling good about the team that you have, feeling good about the culture that you created, feeling good that you had an impact on the team, and when they see you, they're not scared or act out of respect, which is, I don't know, respect and scared. So they're excited to see you and they would engage with you. So have this gratitude walk, appreciate the people, tell them those, it's not about big bonuses. It's about telling Gina, I love your shirt today. Going to Jim, you look great today. Hulya, thank you for the report. You've done great. I'm so proud of you. And then you continue And by doing this gratitude walk only, you are effectively, as a leader, encoding yourself with looking at the positive things and at the positive things in your team as well. So this creates a lot of awareness, because when you walk around, you appreciate the team. You see, wow, that's a nice office I have. That's good energy. That's we build it together. So this is very important. Happiness, gratitude, emotional intelligence, all those things are crucial. And Rana said, emotional intelligence is indeed so much important. It's one of the pillars. Definitely. And we all need to be appreciated. It's the first need that we have, to belong and feel appreciated. People share the attention. They want the attention. They want the appreciation. And by being in the right mind, by being grateful as a leader, this is not unicorns. By being grateful as a leader, a grateful leader is an emotionally intelligent leader who can see things, who can focus on the optimism, on the options, who can focus on where do we go from here, who can focus on all the things that add value to everyone and to the growth of the organization. Because what's the leader without a proper organization and a team? Nothing. I cannot be a leader in my own company alone. Who am I leading? So it starts from within, and it's really underrated. Happiness at work, gratitude, all those things really are important, and they play a role. If you are in the right mindset, you can easily take sound decisions.
Yeah.
And we know that leaders are overly making decisions, and this is their role. They have to make the decision, and they need to have the difficult conversations. And when you are in the right state of mind, then this is very important.
Yeah. Hulya, you have a lot of wisdom in your session in the end of the of the month. There's a question coming from the audience, and that's maybe a question for you. Later on, we can ask the other ones also, and it's about discipline and consistency. First of all, I guess you agree with what Pauline shared. That's the first question, and the second part is like the importance of discipline and consistency, and that might be missing in the current corporate world a little bit. What's your idea on that one?
Just before Hulya answers, I just want to say something that I've observed about Hulya specifically. She's always, from what I've seen, if she says something, she will do it. She'll do it on time, before time. She's like a consistently driven, passionate, energetic business leader, and a woman, just in general as a person. So yeah, I just wanted to say, so whatever Hulya says, we all take very seriously in this topic, because she's really
Oh God, no, thank you so much. But you know what? You're absolutely, yeah, no, I mean, walking the talk, right? So I completely agree with Pauline, absolutely. And the new leader, the leader of the future, should be able to combine data, AI, technology, artificial intelligence, anything that we get as data, with emotional intelligence, right? And have that emotional diligence of showing authenticity, vulnerability, but also vision. And that's important, because people don't follow organizations, they follow leaders. They don't. If the organization is getting down rock bottom together with all the people who are running it, people will leave. What people need, the new workforce, is really leaders who can give the vision, the purpose, happiness, joy, flexibility, all these kind of components. And I completely agree. To achieve that, you need to be as well sometimes trained, because we are not in every aspect very equipped with everything. So hence these kind of trainings that we give as a collective here, as a team, covering the different aspects of first step. If we can't measure anything, how can we change it? So Jim, here you come with your measurements, right? So give that black and white, say, hey, your organization is in this status, I'm sorry, yeah, you need to do something about this. And then the rest is coming in, like Pauline, like Gina, like me. We're giving that specific, training in your brain. And it's not only a one-off. Only coming once to a training does not create behavioral change. I mean, Pauline knows we need to repeat, repeat, repeat. And here I would like to combine this with determination, with consistency, because I've got a saying, my motto, from determination comes success. We give up too quickly. We give up too quickly as well on everything that we see, specifically the new generation. Why? Because everything is fast paced. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Oh my, it doesn't work. I'll leave it. That doesn't work. Oh, I don't want to even try it. I tried it once, done. Well, trying once doesn't mean, that you can't succeed. You need to try over and over again. Because when we think about us growing up, how do you learn to walk? As a baby, I couldn't even count how many times, and I'm sure Pauline knows this as well, and how many times my son fell down on the ground whilst he wanted to or learned to walk. I couldn't count anymore, but he was not giving up. He was coming up again, doing few steps, boom, again on the ground. So this is how we learn. This is the key to success. You try once doesn't mean that you're not capable of. You need to try it a different way. You might need to learn. You might need to practice. And that's what I mean. From determination comes success. We need to be consistent. And the new leader as well, people are looking up to whom? Walk the talk. As a leader, you need to walk the talk. If I am the one who is giving the vision, I need to live up to that vision. If I predict or pledge, we need to have flexibility at work, and I say, oh, you can't go home because, you need to finish that report. Excuse me, that doesn't fit. So if there is no consistency as well in your behavior, in what you're saying, how you behave, how you say stuff, it doesn't give the fuel to have a happy and aligned, very nice, balanced workplace. And we know not only leaders need to be, vulnerable, authentic, create that wonderful safe space, in the workplace, they also need to create equity. It's inclusion, but now we're talking about equity. One size fits all does not work. So we need to actually equip the leaders that they can detect and know what are their certain employees' needs are. And everyone's needs is different because we are unique. So hence why the leader needs to be equipped with lots of human skills, I call, with lots of as well technical skills to use data in their favor and for the benefit of the team. And to do that, you need to have, you can't give what you don't have. So you need to fill up your own bucket as a leader, and then you can share it with anyone else. So these are my 5 cents, I would say, about, leadership, changing your mind, have the correct behavior, and be the one, and as a police said, we are the enablers here. We are the enablers to unleash your full human potential in any kind of circumstance, in any role. That might be the parents, the friend, the husband, relationships, as well as the peer, the leader, as a manager, whoever you are. Because if you know first yourself, and then you know how to use the different tools, you will be mastering your life in a more balanced and equilibre, nice way. So that you can cope with adversities as well. And if we teach that, right, if we learn, if we share our wisdom and knowledge, doesn't mean that everything is holy glory. Of course, there will be adversities. Of course, there will be things happening. Family disasters will happen. Conflicts will happen. It's fine. But you can be then mastering them skillfully. And that's what's important.
A lot of wisdom again.
We all like you, Jim. You know what? We are the 4 musketeers here.
yeah. But it's fully aligned. It's not one side or the other side. It's creating a mix depending on where you are, where your own preferences are between masculine and feminine, between result and balance, being open-minded for new trends that are going happening. Now what we see is that younger generations, they are acting more towards like freedom, and that is like kind of a reaction to the old school masculine dominance. So people are now like breaking free, and that is one of the reasons, or might be one of the reasons, why consistency and discipline is like a little bit further away than in the past, because a lot of these freedom fighters, they see discipline and consistency kind of as an attack on that freedom, and it's kind of finding the right balance between everything. And that is what I try to summarize. But everything that was said here in this coffee break, it's all visible and summarized in the model I created. And that's, for me, I think that's very important, to have an overview. Where am I? Where do I want to go? And we have 4 people who can help with that awareness. So maybe we do a little round to summarize, before we end the coffee break. Maybe Gina, you start. Do you have any remarks?
I just want to second what Hulya said, that you have to be able to measure things, or at least, and also what you said, know where you are. And there, I think the 4D lean model really helps, or the scan really helps. And from my end, I think we have our senses. We are perceiving everything through our senses, what we are seeing, what we're hearing, this is basic. And what is basic doesn't really need to be even taught. But what needs to be taught is how to use these senses in a very smart, easy, simple way to change your state of mind, so that you can live up to your full potential, so that you can focus more, so that you can be grateful, as Pauline said, so that you can be happy, and so that you can deal with adversity. Your adversity quotient, which is also important, needs to go up. So all this can happen through your senses. That's what I do. And I'm always available for anything where I can support and contribute in this way. I want everyone to really just discover all the amazingness that is hidden within themselves, as people or as organizations.
Pauline?
Okay, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Jim, for the coffee break. And thank you for the comments. And mainly what I want to stress is a great leader uses the 3 brains, which is the mind, the heart, and the gut. They're all interrelated, and you cannot lead with your brain alone. You cannot lead with your heart alone, and you can never lead with your gut alone. You need to have the awareness about the 3 brains, know where you are, know what outcomes you need, and then you balance all of them. There's nothing that is rational 100%, emotional 100%, got 100% intuition. There's nothing like that. As leaders, we need to be self-aware, and we need to grow as fast as our teams. So we tend as leaders to focus on the growth of our teams, and we don't focus on our growth as well. And here I'm inviting all the leaders really to take a good look and see where they are and where they want to be, and who can help them in getting to where they want to be further, sooner rather than later. And thank you very much.
Hulya?
Wow, great closing remarks. Wonderful session again. I also learned from each coffee break myself. And that's, as Pauline said, an invitation for every human who will be watching us later on and who's watching us now, to be curious about yourself, explore yourself, take that leap of faith to say, you know what, maybe here I can do something different. Get feed forward from different people, and always improve. Improve yourself first. It starts with you, but also work towards growth, towards supporting, towards caring, towards sharing, towards collaborating, the new kind of world that we are facing at the moment, which is fast paced. As parents, as teachers, as students, as employees, as mothers, whatever it is, as a human. So, an invitation for everyone because, yes, we have got focus, but at the end of the day, it's about the human. Whatever you will learn is about yourself. So, that could be how to use maybe the music. Maybe it's going to be knowing how to use your brain. It's also about how to measure things and see where we are. Or actually going into the kind of human skills where we can even learn more about ourselves first. Because let's face it all starts with you. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, my guests, to be here this week again. In 2 weeks we meet in Geneva. There we will do also an experiment, and that was like one of the questions Gina asked. The model and the aromas of Gina, they are linked to each other, and in 2 weeks we will show the link between the subconscious in the aroma and the conscious into the model. I did a trial in Amsterdam 2 weeks ago. It's surprising to see the link between what we consciously know and what we smell subconsciously. So it's amazing to see the link. And so for the people who are curious to experience that, I would say come to Geneva, come to Hulya's place in.
And I just want to say, Jim, about that. We are all of us, all three of us, are collaborating with Hulya. We are in for the long game. Like we want to. We are collaborating with her because we want to bring this to Switzerland, to Turkey, her home, but also we want to collaborate with everybody. But Hulya has really been one of those people who's really taken the lead and been brave to try new things. She was one of the first. She was the first to order this kit and try it, and
That's true.
on herself, on her son. And now, when Jim does the measurements, you will see how cool this is. How what Pauline was saying, that these things are so. We think of it as soft, but actually they impact everything about you. So you will see in the measurements of Jim, and it takes just how many minutes, Jim? 2-3 minutes to check everything. Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's quick.
yeah. See, max 5 minutes with an analysis. You will know exactly where you are on Jim's model, and also what it means when you like this smell, and your dimensional score is something, what it really means, and what kind of jobs you should be looking for, what kind of team members you should be recruiting, or what kind of romantic partner you should be dating or marrying. All of these matches, you will see, it's crazy. And that is why I loved working on this with you, Jim, and thank you so much for the coffee break.
Thank you all, and see you in Geneva.